Like initially, he was kind of laughing at like,
Yes, my landlord was first ignoring me, and then when I told him that I will take legal action, he sent me the laughing emoji on WhatsApp.
and majority of the time people are give me 100 euros and we'll do the unbundling process and everything. These are all whole fake. Hi guys, so today we are with one of the my class friends and also the youngest person. If you've been following my videos, you must have seen her in our Prague video where she was actually the youngest member and actually planning the whole trip. And it was because of her only we were able to see and manage many places, visit many places. But today's video is about a different thing. It's about finding a housing situation in Berlin, and also trying to understand that what kind of scams that you might face. And she has the living examples of the scams that she has faced. So just wanted to understand from you, Arushi, what are the scams that you had faced and what are the things. So just wanted to ask you about your experience, that what sort of situation and scams that you had faced, and based on that, what kind of concerns or suggestive measures that you would ask someone to consider when finding a housing situation. So just tell your what the whole situation of yours and what did you face.
So I came to Berlin around 26th or 27th August before the semester started. And when I came, I had already found a house. So I initially started searching on WG Gesucht because that was the most recommended site for housing. And I found a house for 360 euros. It was sharing, but it was okay because I was only paying 360 euros.
That was last year, right? 2025.
Yes, that was last year, 2025. And I did take like a video call with my potential roommate of the house, and I signed the contract online. Like I sent the documents over through WhatsApp and I signed it and everything. I paid the deposit also. So unfortunately, when I landed in Berlin and I went to the house, it was located in Spandau.
So when you were paid the deposit, you were in India and you were searching house in Berlin through online mode.
Yes.
Okay.
I was. So when I came to Berlin, the house was located in Spandau, so I took a taxi there. And when I arrived, I expected to see my room with like a window and everything, because that was what was advertised on WG Gesucht. Except when I entered, my roommate took me downstairs into the basement.
Okay.
And she told me that the house actually belongs to the landlord and all the rented rooms are in the basement. And so in that one floor, in the basement floor, you had 5 rooms, all of which were sharing. So total 10 people. There was only one bathroom and only one sharing kitchen. And my room had no window, no nothing. It was in the basement. It was covered with there was absolutely zero light. It was so dark and dingy.
And this was not communicated at all.
This wasn't even shown in the video call when I took an online tour of the house, when I asked them to take it. And so and when I checked out other amenities, so I went to the kitchen and there were fruit flies everywhere. Half of the dishes were unwashed and they were lying around.
Smell.
There was a lot of smell, and because the kitchen is also located in the basement, so it was suffocating to do anything there. And then I checked out the bathroom, and the glass window that closes, slides on the door, that was broken, and they had kept it aside. And again, the bathroom was in the basement, so you could smell it was
very bad.
Extremely bad. And I was very close to crying because I did not expect my first experience to be like that. But I had nowhere else to go for that particular day, so I decided to stay the night. But my roommate was very nice. She came from one of the Middle Eastern countries, and she took me grocery shopping, so I had at least something to eat because I hadn't eaten in the entire journey. And then I called my parents and I told my dad that I can't live here. I don't want to live here. He was like, so you do one thing, you stay in a hotel for about 4 days, and then you find yourself a new house, because now once you're in Berlin, it's easier to search for a house when you're in the place, because you can yourself go and see the views of the housing. So I stayed at a hotel and I started searching again on WG Gesucht. I started searching on Telegram, on WhatsApp, on all the groups that were available to me. And there was this one particular group on Telegram where they advertised a new house, also a sharing room, but with a balcony and a kitchen, a very big kitchen and with an oven. And they said that it was for 450. So I texted them and I asked, can I actually go and take a viewing myself, because I was in Berlin now. And that was a much better option, because I was able to criticize each and everything that I saw there, and I was able to communicate that I don't like this, I don't like that. I ended up taking the room though. And for the next 8-9 months I was very satisfied with it. So I would say that if you're searching from housing and you're not in Berlin, if you're in India, one, take an online tour, sure, just so that you can see that this is what it looks like. But also ask somebody who's already in Berlin, be it an alumni, a senior, or somebody, some friend you might have, to go and look at the house themselves. And never ever try making a decision in haste. Like, don't do it because you're in a panic mode. Like, staying safe is the first priority. And actually, about the deposit on the house that I was scammed on, there are more details to that. I'm sorry, I forgot.
I was about to ask that. How did you recover the scams, and what, like, was there any legal requirements that you had to do?
So the thing is, when you take a house in Berlin, there are some protocols that you go through. You sign the contract, you give the deposit, and then you also do a handover protocol. It's called Übergabe protocol, which is basically a sheet where they ask you, is anything broken or something. It's in German, but they ask you like multiple things, and then you sign it, and then only then they hand you over the keys. And this is something that you should always ask for, because that's the legal way to do it. So in the house that I was scammed in, the one in Spandau, I was supposed to do the Übergabe protocol. I had not signed the contract for that house either. I had just paid the deposit. So I signed it online, but I was supposed to take an offline copy of it also. So when I reached that house, the landlord was conveniently on vacation. And so I called him up and I'm like, you are supposed to do the Übergabe protocol because I need my keys at least. And he's like, I'm not here. I'm on vacation. And now that I don't like the house either, how am I supposed to communicate to him that I don't want this house? And he was not even available for a call. All of this was happening over text.
Okay.
Which was very bad.
And that was scary also.
Exactly. Because I had no support system in Berlin at that time.
Yeah.
So what I ultimately did, I started researching legal ways to recover it. And the first thing a lot of people told me is that whenever you want to search for a house in Berlin, always join the renters union. I think it's like 20 euros for an entire year. That's the subscription cost.
Like, it's an online community or what?
It's an offline community. They have an office in Berlin.
Oh, okay.
And it's called the Renters Union, and they have lawyers and they have different departments. And if you get into any trouble, they can't help you after you've gotten into trouble. You need to be registered with them before you do anything. And if you're registered with them, they'll provide you free legal advice. The lawyers will fight your case in courts. They will send legal letters and everything to the entity. So always join that first. But I could not access that legal way because I had not registered with them. So I went to our school, Hertie, and we had a housing session. And the person there, I actually went to him after the session ended, and I asked him, what can I do about my situation? He's like, I will give you my contact. If you have all the chats saved with you, you have all the documentation. So the camera got stopped because of some reasons. But yeah, we were there at, like, you
Hertie.
contacted one Hertie person, and how did he help you? Who is this person? Like a lawyer or something?
He is a lawyer. He was at that time with the managing director of Hertie's office. But he told me that he can't get directly involved with me. But he said that the least he can do for me is like send a legal letter to my ex-landlord so that I can get my deposit back, because that was 600 euros worth of deposit.
That's too much.
Exactly. So they ended up writing a letter, and I sent it to my landlord, who ignored me for a couple of days. And then he told me that you stayed for one night at my house, so I will deduct 50 euros. And at that point, because I was so tired of the entire thing, I was like, okay, fine, you deduct 50 euros, but give me 550. So I ended up getting most of my deposit back by the end of 1 month.
So you only paid the deposit, but not
the rent.
That's so good. Because, and how much the total value of the deposit? How much
the deposit was 600 euros and my rent was 360 euros.
And you got back 550 euros.
Yes.
So only loss of 50 euros. But still,
yes,
I was just reading that paper that only the materialistic loss
Law covers
Exactly.
only the materialistic law, but the tension and the mental issue that you have
Exactly.
gone. Because I remember it went through like a whole month,
It
the whole
does.
situation,
Yeah.
and you had to contact. Initially, he was kind of laughing at you or something.
Yes. My landlord was first ignoring me, and then when I told him that I will take legal action, he sent me the laughing emoji on WhatsApp.
Hmm.
And then I was so scared because I was like, why is he making fun of this situation? This is
Yeah.
not something to be laughing at. But
And he was not at all answering calls and all. He was
No.
responding on WhatsApp, but not
he was,
answering.
yes, he was only responding on WhatsApp. So I sent him the legal letter on WhatsApp. I was like, if you don't do this, I'm going to take action.
So a few things that we should like point out here that yeah, it's difficult to like find apartments from India, and yeah, majority of people that we have only one situation, one option, that do a video call online video
Yes.
and check. But I would highly, and I think you would all highly recommend that if you could find someone who can go and check physically,
Yes.
that would be really helpful. Because I also got my apartment from this like WhatsApp groups and all, but I had someone to go and check physically,
Exactly.
and that is the most important thing. And I would say that building a network, talking to one of your seniors from the universities that you are going to like join,
Hmm.
that would be like really helpful, and trying to understand what the whole situation is. Because on WhatsApp groups also I had seen that the very important thing, the unmelding process,
Yes.
because if you want to work, you need tax ID, and for that you need unmelding. And majority of the time people are like, give me 100 euros and we'll do the unmelding process and everything. These are all whole fake.
Yes.
So you will get all the listing, but have someone to go and physically check. That would be the whole basis. And always try to understand and get as much as documentation as possible. And finally, like, what would be your final comments that you wanted to share about the funds and money and like cheap apartments and all?
So the reason why I made the entire mistake in the first place was because I wanted a cheap place, even though I was getting better options. But they were more expensive. So I was like, I want to save money, so I will go with the cheaper place. Don't do that. It is your first time in Berlin. You are new to the city. You have to survive the winter here for the first time by yourself. It is not easy to do that. So spend money for the first semester if you have to. Don't hesitate in doing that. But also for the second thing, with Anmeldung and things, it is everybody in Berlin understands, including the government, that you have 3 to 4 weeks to get your Anmeldung done. So a better option would be to take a sublet for about a week or two, and then go yourself around the city, roam around, see the viewing, see the houses yourself, and then take the house.
Yeah.
Don't make decisions in a panic.
Yeah. So online decisions not at all recommended.
No.
Yeah. At least have someone to visit and do physical check,
Yes.
or get a sublet for like 10 or 20 days or something.
Yes.
Maybe if required a month.
Yes.
And then do a physical thing and understand the whole process and situation.
Exactly.
And then do the. Thank you so much. That I am sorry what you had felt, but I think the story needs to be told, so that if someone is watching and someone is planning to move in, they should not do the same mistake. Thank you so much,
Exactly.
Aroshi.
You're welcome.
With this, we'll close the video because we have to work and I have to cook. Okay, bye bye.